All right.
Here, no. Calm down. I'm fine. Somebody be right in front of that damn I'm trying. Don't get wet. Don't get wet. I want you to get that. That feels better.
Where are you sitting, girlfriend?
I'm right here,
I do, but I don't know the business.
Everyone on it. It's a good cause.
Oh, for the Christmas tree. What a mess.
I got tickets. Oops, I didn't mean to hit you.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine.
No, you're not.
No.
Don't hit your head.
Oh, we saw it.
Back around. It's kind of a liability sticking out there. You don't need to do it. You just sit your happy little butt right there.
Good morning.
No, I don't want you to scream. You did just have surgery. No, mine was his was a stick. Mine was no, you're fine. We're gonna need you. We're gonna need all that
I know there's an ulterior motive.
Always, I'm a woman. House by house.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, but having that stuff, there's, so we're changing all the locks in here. Just to, you don't sit here.
We're like that.
Announce it.
I didn't get a hug.
That would be the legal right now. Hollywood.
I didn't get a hug.
Okay, folks, it's 10 o'clock. We'll get this town hall started, so happy Valentine's Day. Everyone, we appreciate you showing up this morning. We'll get going, we'll say the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yay.
There.
Yes. So, thank y'all again for, coming up. Today's the town hall. It's gonna be an open forum. Try to keep your conversations to 3 minutes. And then we'll let people respond and things like that. Let's be respectful. Also, if you get any legal questions, the board's not gonna be able to answer, but we'll try to answer everything we can. So, who would like to start off?
Would the board mind introducing themselves for those that don't know
Yes.
them?
Yes, I'm Rick Vincent, I'm the president. I'll let everybody introduce themselves.
I'm Lindsay, secretary.
I'm Greg Dykes. Board member.
Master of all.
Master.
Maureen Cook, I am the vice president and the treasurer.
Cindy Dodson.
Frank Patton, maintenance.
Mike Andrews, roads.
And we have one more gentleman that's not here, William Burns. He's had some surgery lately and he's over security. Okay, you're more than welcome. Thank you for asking. Anybody else? Yeah, go right ahead.
Hi, I'm Truva and I'm with the Ladies Club and we're having our biggest and only fundraiser this year, which I've tried to catch around everybody while y'all were coming in, but I missed some. Anyway, this is our flyer. What we have is a dinner, a bake sale, a silent auction, and a raffle. With these funds, we issue scholarships to the graduating seniors in Indian Harbor. We do charities, we do the food bank, or the food box, whatever it's called, food bank. And we try to, if we have extra funds, we enhance, like we helped with the playground equipment some and everything. So we try to enhance what our community has. These tickets are $22. I have to have the money in by the end of next week. We've been advertising, trying to get everything. This is on March 7th. It starts at 5 o'clock and ends at 8:30. We have a lot of things. We have collected over $2,000 of donations from the people in Granbury and around there. A lot of good things. So we'd really love to have y'all. And it's really, like I said, you can contact me. I have a few tickets today. If you want to buy them, like I said, they're $22 a piece.
If she runs out, I've got more.
Steak, chicken, potato salad, and a dessert. And it's all catered by Hofbrauers. Okay? Thank you.
Good. Yeah, let's support the Ladies Club on that.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Beth.
I'm Jill Batten, and the Ladies Club had two speakers, right?
Yeah.
Two speakers that were from the Department of, thank you, Granbury Transit. We had, 15 women?
Yeah.
Not one of them knew that this program was in existence. And we've got a flyer, and this is basically for seniors, but this company or committee or whatever you want to call it, organization within Granbury, has been in effect for how many years?
Since 97?
97? And we told them, we said, how come the ladies in this club have been residents of Hood County for years and years? And he says, that's why we're going around and starting to talk it up.
What exactly do they do?
They'll pick you up.
Okay, you want me to help you?
Yeah, help me.
Okay.
I have drugs in my arm.
Okay, so the thing about it is that we were really shocked. I don't know how many of y'all hire people to carry you to the airport if you're going out of town or something like that. And I'm not going to say names, but whenever we leave town, sometimes it's cheaper for us to have a driver carry us to the airport because they charge $30 a day at the airport. This company, they charge us over $200 to take us to the airport. This company, it's around $45, and it doesn't matter if there's one of you or there's four of you. It's $45 to take from here to the airport. They will pick you up and bring you back. It is amazing.
And seniors,
You get a discount. Some veterans don't have to pay. They take you to the doctor, to the hospital, or, not the hospital emergency, but, they take you wherever you need to go. You just call them and everything. And to us, that was a real shock because a lot of the Uber, well, it's not Uber, but I don't know what you call it, car services here are very, very expensive to take you anywhere. And this right here is wonderful. I had never heard of it. We've been here since 21 and paying high dollar to go to the airport. And that is amazing, absolutely
So the
amazing.
airport
And
thing's
what's the
not
name of the
affiliated with seniors, they just take anybody?
Yeah, they'll take anybody, yes.
the senior program.
Yeah, but they have senior programs, but they'll take anybody. The seniors get a little more of a discount from what I understand. The veterans is even a little more, and so forth like that. Yes, ma'am.
So the $45 per person, or is it
No.
ride share?
It's ride share. Like if you, like say you and if two of y'all wanna go to the airport, it's only $45.
They have to pick you up at the same place and drop you
Oh,
off
yeah,
at the
that's
same place at the
Yeah,
airport.
that's true. Yeah, and that's what I thought was amazing. I mean, you know, because normally when you get on a transit like that, it's 45, 45, 45, 45.
Where do they
And
drop
this
you
is
off
free.
here and pick you up at your house?
Yeah, wherever you call and them and everything, you call them, but it's like Granbury Transit. And I didn't know she was gonna present that, but they have cards and business cards, and I mean, since they're out of Glen Rose, but it's called Granbury Transit.
Yeah, you don't have any of your cards, do you?
Yes, ma'am.
Question, is there any way that you could, set that, up here or something, so if people wanna take a snapshot with their
Yeah.
phone or
Yeah.
something, and
I'm
you
just
can,
got the senior, now, the senior ride program, you must live in Hood or Somerville County,
True.
or require transportation to Hood or Somerville County. You are at least 60 years of age, have medical appointments out of county, if they'll take you there, and have difficulty paying fares. So, I'll put this up there and they can, as you said,
But
take a
it's for
snapshot.
everybody, that's just who gets the discount.
Yeah, this is the senior.
Yeah.
And this is about, Veterans General Assistance Grant. So, we can contact them. I can send an email to her and see if they can't give us some more business cards, and we can pass it out at the next town hall.
yeah, and it'd be awesome too, maybe to, for the office, and then, maybe they could shoot it out on town hall, I mean,
Yeah.
town
Well,
square.
it's just so
you know.
shocking to find
That
out.
is, that's
that-
We were really impressed.
Super, that's good to know. I'd like, before we get to the next question, I'd wanna, Lindsay's over our social committee. A lot of people that were sitting in here was at the Super Bowl party, which was, I believe we had between 60 and 65
Yeah.
people up here.
It was so awesome.
So it was really a great time. You notice we got a bigger TV up here, and thanks to the men's club and some other people that donated the money for this. And then the TV that was up here got moved back to the bar. So if we wanna sit there, so during the Super Bowl, we had both TVs going, it worked great. If you go back to the bar area, you'll notice, it's not storage anymore. And we had someone donate, the tablecloths and 8 bar stools back there, and so we're slowly cleaning that up. So if you rent your place, it's a lot nicer to have back there, so thank you for all who donated, and it cost the harbor $0 to get this done.
Yep. Nicely done, guys, that did
Yes.
that. And girls.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Do we have lights outside?
I was in the big poles.
Is any kind of lighting? I was here for the Super Bowl party. I'm brand new to the neighborhood, and it was dark when I left, and I didn't even know where I was going, and I was afraid I was gonna fall off the
Okay.
sidewalk. And I couldn't find my car in the parking lot, because it was so dark.
Yeah, the lights, I think this light that here's been out for a real long time, and there's the type of bulb that takes there's a transformer side that's out. Now, to answer the question, we are aware of that. We just ordered 2 solar lights, and we didn't order more because we don't know if they're really gonna work. So this package came with 2, so we're gonna set one of them up over here at the playground, which will be going in probably the first time of the week. The lights are in, the poles have been ordered. And then if those work really nice, then I'm hoping that we can transport these 2 poles with maybe some solar lights that will give us a lot more light.
Good.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I
Where-
didn't feel safe when I was walking out there, because I couldn't
Right.
tell where I was. Come out every night.
And we are addressing that, so that's just what we're doing, and we just got these lights in 2 days ago, so we'll probably put them up, and we'll see how and if they kind of lighten the place up, then we'll order some more. And they're, for 2 sets, I can't remember, they're like $200 or stuff like that. We got bids to $1,500 to $2,000 to just do the playground area, And we're gonna have, for these 2 lights, invested in it maybe $450.
Okay.
So, you know, we're doing a lot of the work ourselves, but yes, we do want to lighten that up and improve that.
And I'm just gonna expand on that a little bit because he's far too humble, he's not gonna say anything. All right, this is,
Thank you.
this is Rick's deal, all right? Rick's the one that uses his own gas, goes to Henson Metal, gets the dadgum poles to avoid the delivery fee, and has figured out this solution with Frank so that these lights don't cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and we can do them for pennies on the dollar. And he's gonna paint them too. This is our president, all right, doing all this on his own time. And if they work, then we can go into production and we'll have nice lights out there in the parking lot for the cost of what it would take it for one. So, anyway, thank you again, Rick.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
And to keep the people that live on the circle, okay, we are aware of that and how we're gonna position these lights. We want them where they're not just, you know, shining on your house and super bright. So we do have that in mind. These poles, the way the lights on the mountain of the pole, they can be adjusted up and down, so we'll have to get that right. So for the people that live on the circle, if we put the lights up and bother you, just let us know so we can adjust them. Okay? Okay, anybody else?
I have a question. Our personal information was turned over to a collection agency. What is that about?
An AI.
It's an AI company.
So that was a program, it was a program that PMI was testing. And I don't know about personal information going out, but I will say this, as of yesterday, the board voted not to continue that AI program.
It was,
Say that one more time. What did you say?
Oh, I said, I think PMI enhanced that, not us, and we voted to get rid of it, so, just so you know.
so our understanding is that it was part of PMI's responsibility is to help with collections and delinquencies. Okay, that's part of their responsibility. Our understanding, and you guys jump in because I obviously missed part of this back in December. They found software, it's really just software, and it does use AI to help automate that process. I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert, know anything about this software. We have now gotten to the bottom of my knowledge about it. And so as a result of that, exactly what Rick said, the board voted yesterday to just continue utilizing that software until we understand further what's going on.
Yeah, because they're coming in from like 9 states. It's not decentralized. It's all over.
Okay.
And actually, I got a letter in the mail from PMI stating that they were utilizing a third-party collections agency
Correct.
for automated phone calls. So,
That's harassment, honestly.
well, not until you tell them, don't call
Yeah,
me.
correct.
Then it's harassment after that.
They were told.
Yeah. Then-
Yeah. Well, like I said, we voted on this yesterday. When we got all the information we can, we discussed it. It was unanimous to stop that. So we'll go back to the normal procedures to collect past dues. Yes, ma'am.
Another thing with the PMI, so when we send in our dues, so I send it like the 1st of January, they didn't post it till the 4th, and so, of February. So what happened is they added on all these little fees for doing that. And so I went and talked to them at the office, but she said they had to post 500 checks in a short period of time. And so maybe there's a solution to that as well, so that they could post a few. Maybe you pay a different month for some setup, like this group is,
Can we do it
people pay
electronically?
this month, this group pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer, according to our governing documents, we have to charge everybody on the same day, so we
Oh, you
can't,
do, okay.
yeah, so we can't linger it on, correct? You know,
Okay,
in
then
that.
PMI probably needs to have a right number of people to post it.
Well, I think that we would like as a board to see maybe some method of like, using like, let's say electronic check through Town Square as opposed to only being able to use a credit card where the electronic check would not have any fee
Well, this is
associated.
paid straight from my bank, so.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I see what you're saying there. So, they have staffed more people in the office. They do that during December because an exorbitant amount comes in December.
Right.
Exorbitant comes out in there, and you know they're running checks through that machine 90 to nothing, right? So they don't have control of when they necessarily go through, but they have. Jenny in the office generally only works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and she's been working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they have upped that to try to get things for us in these months. If you have fees, my suggestion is to go to the office and say, hey,
Oh, I
this is-
did, I talked to
So
him.
did they take care of
I got
your
that
fees?
resolved, so that's
Okay, good,
not-
good. As long as
Yeah.
that's resolved,
It's
then
just
I'm
gonna be
fine.
a problem always. if-
Yeah,
if
and-
Posting is a problem.
And they're aware of it, and those, you know, of course, they're computer programs, so those things automatically go on. It's not like they're sitting there like the olden days and tacking it on. It just automatically happens. As long as you can talk to them, and they are gonna take that away, you know, so that you aren't responsible. I apologize that happens, but at least it's been fixed, you know, in that way. If anybody has fees that they feel that they shouldn't have and they're not being resolved by the office, please, you know, let me, I mean, I'm the treasurer, let me know, and I will go find out why, you know, and we can have a conversation. I'm more than willing to help you guys out.
I think there was some type of electronic transfer. I was a banker for 35 years, and, you know, you got Zelle, and you got numerous different software, so they gotta get themselves
Yeah.
electronically set up for it.
Yeah, so as long as, you know, you guys are taken care of in the end and everything is fair, I'm okay with that. You know, we'll figure out what we can to try to fix those things, maybe apply those a little later and let those things work themselves out. So instead of applying right away in January, you know, maybe it's February or March or whatever it is, so we, you know, make
However
sure.
long they need to post them, then they need to allow for that.
Correct, I see, yes, absolutely. We will all discuss that with them.
Would you consider having volunteers come to the office and assist in ripping envelopes open or posting, you know, totaling the checks or anything?
To be honest with you, I don't think it's the opening of them all. I think, you know, it's just the getting the process through and how they have to get it done. You know, it's a lot. I mean, when you think of 2,000 people possibly, well, okay, however many all coming in at one time, that's a lot for any small office to handle. So as long as they're handling it, and if there's any fees, we're gonna work with that, and then maybe we can change, I'm gonna not note that down, change where the program doesn't apply right. You know, we delay that application a little bit,
Is
we'll
there-
look into that.
Is there a way that it automatically posts?
Meaning,
Could we submit it in a way that it's automatically
Like, you mean
posted,
like
then
a
that would
cash app?
remove the problem?
Yes, if you do a debit card on Town Square, you have to pay the convenience fee, it will automatically post your account the day you do it.
How
I
much
want
is
to
it?
pay fee for them to be more efficient.
no, and fair to that, I'd love to see maybe a card reader right there in the office, you know, where I'm not paying, you know, you a fee and we just zip it around there, so.
But that might be a way for them to resolve that. I mean, I really think that's a PMI problem, they need to.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring that up and see if we can change something in the parameters of that,
Maybe a
assessed
preferred
program.
method for us to pay.
If you pay it out of your bank,
They gotta get
I
I
pay
did.
mine out of my bank
I
automatically like
did.
you do, off a bill pay thing. But I don't send it here, or I don't send it to the office, I send it to Flower Mound, which is PMI's corporate office, and they post it there. Now, it
Okay,
does
so
take- it does
maybe a
take a
change in address for how you post it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always
No, I
paying a
pay.
year ahead of time, so if it's, you know, I'm not gonna get late fees. But
Oh, yeah, so
it
I can
takes,
do that, that's not a problem, so
But,
if
yeah, there's an
everybody
ad-
knew that different address.
yeah, there's an address for them, and they post it usually when they get it, but you've got that 3 or 4 day window till they receive it.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good.
Great, super. Anybody else?
One other question, you said you voted on, the PMI thing, where do we find out that information?
When you
Things
say,
that are voted on by this board.
it's gonna be in the meeting minutes. And that is gonna be on Town
And where is
Square,
that?
on Town Square.
Okay.
Yeah, on Town Square, it'll have agendas, meeting minutes, all of our, there'll be, some financials on there, there's our documents, there's permits, there's a way for you to contact the board, a way for you to contact ACC, so it's kinda like a little hub where you can go to, but Town Square will have those things.
But doesn't it normally run about 30 days late, like this month, then it shows up next month?
Well,
right?
as far as meeting minutes, I believe as soon as they're written, they go on, but they go on as unapproved minutes.
Oh,
They won't
okay.
go on as approved minutes, to my knowledge, until we have voted on them at the following board meeting and approved what's in them. Then they'll be finalized as approved, from my understanding. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I'm a little confused. There was a board meeting yesterday and y'all kept minutes on it?
We didn't have a board meeting.
What was the vote taken?
The vote was taking, on the AI because it was a Sunday was the end of this trial period.
Okay.
And we had to make a decision, so we didn't get locked in with that. So, and just like the gentleman said, things that we have had a lot of questions to ask, and we didn't really have the answers for all those questions, and we felt it was best. And we polled all the board members and said, you know, let's end this until we do more research on it and move on.
Well, I guess the question is, there was minutes kept of that?
There is an
Vote, which is-
electronic, record of that, yes.
Okay.
But we were in, you know, like time, I didn't want to get tied into a contract or anything like that, so that's why we did that.
And we weren't in contract prior to that, it was a free trial.
Just a trial basis. Yes, sir.
I got a couple questions based on the fees, the late fees and the administrative fees and all that. Do they go to the harbor or do they go to PMI? And then my second kind of following question with it, can we update, if there's late fees that are gonna be charged, can we update the fees page in Town Square to represent that? Cause currently it does not.
We are working on that, sir, thank you very much. We are working on that sucker right now. Actually, our workshop is on Wednesday, where, the board will meet and we go over, this will be added, like what we discussed today. And that's one of our agenda items for our workshop, is to go over that schedule and get it updated. So yes, and, what was your other part of that question? I'm sorry.
The late fees, administrative fees,
Okay.
whatnot, they're being added on after the fact, because you're, like, I have two properties, I didn't pay one of them till the 2nd of February, so I got hit with the late fee and the $5 late fee and the $4 administrative fee, which, my fault, I paid it, because I should have paid the damn thing before the end of January.
Thank you.
But, where's that money go, is
Okay.
my question.
So
Is that a supplementary charge that PMI keeps, or is that something that comes back to
So
the
there
harbor?
are several different fees that are involved in, you know, things that are late, whether they're fees or fines, assessments, whatever it is. So PMI does charge Indian Harbor set fees for different things, depending on what they are, sending notices, different levels of notices, things that they'll, you know, put on the account. Now, some of those are actually things that, come back to Indian Harbor, meaning it's like they charge, yet we get the money. And, a easy example, I believe, and don't know exactly the process, because we paid the management company to do those processes for us, is if they have to, set up a payment plan. You know, a person calls in and requests payment plan. They charge a fee for that payment plan, but that fee is charged, so they'll charge us that fee to set up the payment plan. But that person who has a payment plan set up is charged the fee.
Right.
So when they pay, like once, say it's $100, and once they pay that whole 100, say it's a $5 fee, they'll end up paying a total of 105. We've already paid PMI the $5 fee, but at the end of the payment plan, that $5 fee then comes back into Indian Harbor's account, so they offset each other. So if that makes sense.
Yeah, I figured some of them were pass-through fees, but
Yes.
there's, again, without an updated fee schedule, it's kind of hard to figure what is going where.
Yes,
Correct.
absolutely. And so not every single one of them is, you know, they charge fees to follow and things like that. So not everything is, but per contract, that's where that is all included as far as what PMI charges and how then it would come back to us is how it's applied from there. So I hope that answered the best I can. And if there's a certain question you want me to ask, just come up here and I will find out that specific question and answer.
Maureen?
Yeah.
Are the PMI fees part of their contract?
It is, when I say part of their,
Isn't that posted on Town Square?
they do not have to post their contract on that.
Oh, they don't? Oh,
No.
okay, never mind.
And that is not legally required by, the Texas Property Code.
Okay.
I don't think any of our contracts are posted on Town Square, which would be kind of, I think it'd probably be borderline illegal, because now everybody, when the contract comes up for renewal, everybody's reflecting to the existing contract that won, so it gives an unfair advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah, so there's just a few things that, Texas requires that be on our website for, view, and we are in compliance with that.
Okay,
Oh, well, I'm still talking, gates. Where
Our fabulous gates.
our fabulous, wonderful gates
Okay.
that are very intermittent in operation from time to time. And how locked in are we to Envera? Because there are several other companies out there that I have dealt with in the past that,
You can bring those names up here right after this meeting, I'd love to have them. So as far as what's going on right now, unfortunately, the, entrance arm on the resident side, that has been hit multiple times. It has cattywampus the base of it a little bit, causes some issues. Now, when people hit it, they are charged. They're charged for either a fee or they're charged for the repairs of it. But unfortunately, over time, you're not replacing the whole thing and over. So I have taken over, helping out with contacting because I am unrelenting and they don't like me. So I got them out to check that arm finally. We have to buy a new controller, which has been ordered. As far as the exit gate, from what I was told, it's a bolt. And it took 2 months to get the bolt in to fix the exit arm, but it arrived in Florida, and now it's being sent to the tech. And now he hopes by the beginning of the week, he's gonna have both things, and he will have both of those items repaired.
You said it's a
as far
bolt?
as the contract, we do have a contract, I'm not 100% on the date on that. So I'm digging deeper into that contract. We have a maintenance service agreement with them. I'm digging deeper into that. I've asked for a little bit of money back to Indian Harbor because of the lack of them being able to provide what they say they're going to provide in their contract. So I can tell you that I'm working on it.
and I think as a board, we're not happy just like you are with it. But yeah, to get us some names. You'll notice the resident gate does go up and down, but that is manually operated with the garden shack. So, if there's nobody in line at the visitors deal, they can kind of glance over and see your deal. That's why the gates sometimes open up when you're like 20 feet away, But it might not open up as quick if there's a bunch of people in line. So, it just, you have a question on
The
that.
guard has to push a button?
Right now, while it's
Right
broken.
now.
While it's broken.
While it's broken.
Okay.
So instead of keeping it straight up and
Yeah,
down and coming in, they can control it, but keep in mind, it's just one person and they're trying to do, check people in and do that.
Has there been any discussion, because we only have the main entrance in and out, has there been any discussion amongst the board about potentially putting a drainage culvert over Pawnee and then have a second entrance, gated entrance coming through off Pawnee back to there? Or when the fire department moves out of Indian Harbor, potentially having that as a gate to take some of the load off of the front gate? And you can have it as a limited hours of operation, because this front gate will back up from about 5 o'clock through 7:30 at night, and not all the folks are very patient.
Those are excellent points, and I can tell you, and maybe some of the people that were here on the board before I was, I don't know what year it was, but they were talking about putting a gate in at the fire department with the arm. And I think the cost was a lot, and it went to a vote to the members and it was denied.
The other problem with that, and I'm not saying, I'm not, anyhow, I'm just gonna say, at the gate, and as wonderful as this is or not wonderful, I'm not gonna debate that, is that we do have a guard chat, and we do have a guard in it. So if somebody were to walk up to that arm and do the limbo under it, we have a guard there that would hopefully stop that person from
They
doing
don't.
that.
You're talking about somebody walking through?
I'm just saying, that's why I'm saying literally hopefully. So when we put something there or there, my concerns would be, it's 100% we can't see it. I don't know, but it's something to look into.
Well, I mean, with the camera technology is not that expensive, and you can have monitors at the existing guard shack, and it's the same as here, if the guard's in the bathroom, somebody runs through the gate, you go back to the camera and you do that. So,
Yeah, and I think that's a great point, and, I'm sure as a board, I'd love to look at options, and when we have our annual meeting.
Yeah, even if it's just like I said, a limited duty gate during the high peak time of the morning and in the afternoon. I mean, we don't have a huge crime spree in Indian Harbor, thankfully. Specifically being that, we have ungated communities adjacent to us. It's just something I think bears some consideration, and if we actually draw in the revenues that were originally forecasted, I mean, we might have an extra $10,000 laying around where we could put a gate in at the fire department and maybe over on Pawnee, I think it's worth a discussion, because I would probably surmise that you would get, if not overwhelming approval, at least majority approval. Like, yeah, we'd like an alternate way to get in and out of the harbor, because just sometimes you can't do it. It's especially the way some folks drive, the way they drive on Apache, either way too fast or way too slow.
Never in the middle.
No, and I agree with you 100%, on something that I think we should entertain.
So Rick, what I've done is I've made a note, we'll put this with the capital committee, with all the other amenity enhancements and maintenance items that need to be done, and it will be on our list. We're starting that up shortly.
Okay. James, I know you've had your hand up too.
Oh, I was curious about the price of that boat, if we're being charged a government fee for it. $10,000 for a boat that we could probably go to the hardware and get for like 15
My question
cents.
is, if that boat breaks all the time, why can't we order 2 or 3 of them?
Yeah, have
them
spares.
on hand, but
I was just trying to be smart about that. I do have a question though. What do y'all think about our beloved PMI? I mean, as much as I'm hearing a lot,
Shame on you.
I'm hearing a lot. Well, especially since this video camera here was a request from PMI, because they love my videos. I think they loved the fact that it was on top of my head and my head kept bobbing up and down. And no, on a serious note, we seem to, or do we have a better management company, a worse management company than Goodwin? I mean, are there other management companies that we're going to look in the future,
so
maybe?
on that, James, is in their contract, they have a disparagement clause in there, so we can't say anything good about them, anything bad about them. The last town hall, I apologize for any comments that were made. And so on that deal, according to their contract, we can't say anything about
They
it.
have to be here.
They have to be here. Now, if they were here.
They have to be here?
But us as homeowners, we should be able to voice our opinion about it.
You're more than welcome to
Whatever
voice
you
your
want.
opinion,
You can say
but
whatever,
as a
yes.
contract with Indian Harbor and the board, it says in there that we cannot disparage them in any way, and there's a bunch of little things in there that says, so on that deal, we can't.
Oh, well, who hired who? I said, who hired who? Did the board of directors hire PMI, or did PMI hire the board of directors? I mean, on a serious note, if you're unhappy with their services.
There's a contract. We can't break that contract. We can't go against the contract.
our hands are tied making comments about PMI unless they're present. You can't discuss it.
I was gonna say, you can surely give them feedback as the board.
Yes.
and
Oh, we
then-
absolutely do.
Oh, I just can't sit up here and say PMI isn't doing crap or something. They can't do that in this board
We
meeting
talked
without
about
The last
PMI.
couple of weeks, we
But they
just
can
had a
definitely
meeting.
pass.
I mean,
that
then how do
feedback
people
on.
have a discussion about our management company if you're not allowed to say anything?
But we are not allowed to say it unless they're here, but we are allowed to listen to you.
Did they show up at the last board meeting? Because I wasn't here.
This is entrapment.
Dun, dun, dun.
When is the contract through, the current contract?
3
It's
years,
a 3-year contract.
and it'll be 1 year mark, I believe, in June. So June, I believe, is.
Is it one of those
Okay.
contracts you have to notify them 90 days in advance that you're not, and you got a certain period of time, and if you
There's
don't
an
do it
out
within
in the
that?
contract, yes, I mean, it's stipulated in the contract on either side, you know, if they want it out versus us.
You guys can express your concerns to the board directly, and we can take those concerns back and work directly with PMI on those concerns and decide how to move forward in a relationship based on rules, contracts, and everything else. But we cannot voice anything directly to you. It has to be taken to PMI first.
So I'm sorry, but I have a question. So who decides what days they get off, when the office is open and when it is not open? Who decides that? Is that y'all or is that PMI?
There's a contract that
In their
states how that's
contract,
done.
they do.
It sounds like they hired you. It
Because
really does. They're the boss.
we have several neighbors that are.
I mean, it stinks to say that, but
James, but the previous boards, or when they got hired, that was the contract, you know, and whether we knew exactly this board, most of us are new, it's the contract that sent it to, and we have to abide by that contract.
and while I agree that may be the contract, I think that's pretty wrong in the situation, especially if you got people who have complaints about PMI, that they can't be resolved in the situation, because as far as I'm concerned, you bring your information up to PMI and they tell you to go get stuffed, and then you're stuck. What are you going to do? Oh, well, we can't say nothing about it because we're under contract.
Now, we
So-
can
Do you
talk
see
to
the
them.
problem with that?
Any specific item, bring that to us and we can take it to PMI. Any specific item.
And you
Anybody
can
has
take their
that.
concerns to
Good or
PMI.
bad.
Well,
gotta-
PMI is the management of Indian Harbor.
That's it, good or bad. You can take positive feedback as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, absolutely, and you guys can talk to PMI, I mean,
Yeah. It's just, we can't have a discussion about the contract or, performance or anything like that without them here to adequately.
Well,
discuss
whose
their
fault is that?
perspective.
Is it your fault that they're not here?
they.
I understand that they're supposed to be
We
here.
didn't sign the contract, James. We didn't sign the
But we have
contract.
to abide by
It
it.
was done previously. So don't, when you say us,
We didn't.
nobody on this board signed the contract.
Okay, you understand that a board of directors is a kind of figurative individual all in itself, like a corporation and situation. The corporation, let's call you the McDonald Corporation, and situation, it includes everybody, whether you were here or not. It's a situation. That's how I look at a board of directors. It doesn't really matter if you were there for 15 years on the board of directors or whether you is your first time here on the board of directors. It's basically the board of directors. We don't go new board of directors. We don't go old board of directors. But and in the same situation though, I felt we hired them. You know. And the situation, to have something in the contract, what lawyer brought this to the board of directors and said this contract is a good contract if you can't talk about PMI and your personal feelings against the management company?
We can talk within ourselves as a board,
Mm-hmm.
which we obviously do. If we have a concern or if we're happy about something, whatever it is, any side of the story, we do have conversation. Town hall, they are not required by contract to be here at a town hall.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you as members want us to request them, we will. There will be a fee for them, their time to be here. And we will do that. If that's
Seems
what
like
you
there's a
guys
fee
want.
for everything.
Well, you know, that's in anything, I'm sorry. Contracts are contracts are contracts. There's fees in any contract. So, and then these town halls are where we want to hear your issues, your problems. We write them down, you know, between all of us. And then we, in our workshop, we're going to discuss those. And then we will address PMI if there's a concern, you know, or, you know, maybe a change you might want, you know, can we do this for our members? And we do that. So, you know, if you're not gonna get us stuck in, you know, the battle over right or wrong.
Okay. I guess basically 3 years from now, is it 3 years still? I mean, I thought it was
2 years and change.
2 years and change. Are we gonna keep them? Are we gonna keep them? Are we gonna look at all other management companies? I mean, is there a possibility, you know, some way to motivate an employee is to sit there and tell them, you know, you can be replaced. Wouldn't you agree, Rick?
So I think
minutes we give people? Are we
we're
still
down to
doing
37 seconds. So let me just address the vendor part of it, all right? This is one of the initiatives that we have taken on as a board. With every vendor, we are going to get 3 quotes. Every time we have an agreement, the contract expires, we go out, get vendors, get 3 quotes, and do it. Mike's doing that on cul-de-sacs, I'm doing it on audit firms, I don't know what else is going on. Swimming pool vendors, so to answer your question directly, James, like any other vendor to the harbor, when that expires,
Contract
we'll
expires.
get multiple quotes, and that'll be that.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir, did you have,
that's it.
oh, okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I had one but scratch that.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think that's a two-way street on, and I won't continue the conversation long, but you have the PMI contract, and I agree wholeheartedly that you walked into a contract, just like the previous board walked into a contract. Every board walks into a contract. And you guys are the board of Indian Harbor volunteers. This isn't a big organization where you're relied to make every decision and have all the resources available to make the right decision all the time. You're just doing the best you can. So I think as a community, and I support, I'm with James on a lot of this. There's a lot of things that are done wrong by PMI. And I think comments across the board in a lot of the town hall meetings, there's been numerous things against PMI. And I can badmouth them because I'm not on the board. So one of the tools, as I understand it, to answer James's question, are we gonna renew that contract? If we as a community are fed up with PMI and, you know, because it's their charges, they're not responding, they don't do their job, then we would have the right to file a petition and give to the board and say, we mandate that this contract be put up for renegotiation. So it's our responsibility as much as it's yours to try to get the right people.
I appreciate
That's the way
that.
I look at it.
And do remember, go to your governing documents, because I, as a person who did do a petition.
But that's why I brought that up, you reminded me.
Sorry, before I was on the board, but there is ways for the people to be heard, you know, so you just have to go out there and do it, and there's a little, it's not through lawsuits, hopefully. Give us a chance as an association, not a board just, but as association, to write things and make things better that we can through a way that doesn't cost everybody in here money or, you know, upgrades to their facilities or the roads or whatever. Do it in a way where we can try and work together like a community and get it done. So that's an interesting take, and I like that take. You know, you guys have some power, you know.
They have all the power.
Yeah,
We just
We work for
represent
them.
you.
absolutely. We're
If
trying.
there are things that we're doing or that are happening that you don't like, you need to address it to us as you're doing today. And then we, in turn, will try to take the best action we can take to resolve the issue for you.
Is there a
That's what we're
vote
here for.
Yeah.
of the members, it's like in 2.5 years, and you say, here's three quotes. Do the members of this community, this residents, able to come in, just like we did PC 121 or whatever. We had to vote. Is there one for our management company?
There's no votes for contractual stuff. No.
Don't you think there should be one?
Well, that's why you have a board.
Yes.
Yeah, the board,
I mean,
the
if
board
we
takes
had
that
to get
responsibility.
together and vote every time we needed a new contract.
We'd be
up
broke.
there,
Yeah, and it
Well,
costs
we'd be
between $6,000 and $8,000 to have to vote, so, but I agree, and I appreciate that. If you don't like what we do, our term is 3 years, you can vote us out. I mean, it's just politics, and anybody can do. I mean, this, in 3 years, there could be a totally
New
a
board.
whole different board, because how the board works, every year, 3 people are up renewals, so replace it. Now, they can rerun if they want, but then that's right, if you don't like what we're doing, then you can vote us out, by all means.
Didn't you just say though that you are all the new board and you ran into this contract and,
It matters.
you know, it's,
It is our contract.
I think something as far as an important one, as far as being an important one, like having somebody and taking the overall care of the pool or whatever, and said that PMI is not a small grass cutting contract or not a small contract. PMI is a major contract here. It's almost like raising, you know, your assessments.
No matter
There should be a little bit of whether a kind of a vote, or at least at the very least, a consensus of all the people in the association on whether or not we renew this contract. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm doing this because they requested it. Okay, I kind of like PMI. Other people do not. There should be a consensus. Do you like PMI? Do you not like PMI? Is there a problem with PMI that you think of? And that should be more of a consensus.
Well, I'll say this, James, right now, we have a contract with PMI.
Yeah.
Whether the board knew there is a lot of new members, we have to, as this board, we have to abide by that contract. That's all I can say about that, because that's just what it is.
Behind you, Rick. Real quick on what James was touching on as far as, getting members' feedback, the census, the whatever, you know. Now, it is not in the governing documents, so it is not a base thing there that contracts have to be taken to the members, right? But we're here as your board, and if it's something, I mean, we have people here, obviously, that are interested. Now, this is a very small group of people compared to all of Indian Harbor, but if it's something that you're interested in having a conversation about, so let's say Embarrass contract, which is just hypothetical, is coming up for renewal. If it's a consensus by the members that they'd like to have in a town hall a presentation about the different companies, we may entertain that, we'll do that. That doesn't mean you get to pick the one, but we can maybe present to you the different things of those. And I don't know if that is a possibility or not, but if that's something that interests you as members, let your board know, and then we can take it into a workshop and say, hey, is this something we feel like we should or shouldn't do? And we'll try. But if there's something like that, this is the platform where you guys come to us and say, hey, when that happens, you know, could we do this? And then we'll go find out if we can. I mean, you can't tie the hands of the board, right, so that we can't function, you know, meaning in a reasonable amount of time, you know. But we're here for you guys. It's your contracts. It's not ours.
Yes, ma'am, in red.
Okay, I'm gonna get off the PMI thing.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Lord. My concern is the safety of this bridge. What do you all plan on doing to fix that? That bridge is so unsafe, and I don't know if you people that live up on the hill know that, but it's ready to cave in.
No, it's not. We've had it inspected,
Really?
by engineers out of Dallas. We paid $10,000 for the last inspection, which was a couple of months ago. We
Okay,
had
and where's
another
the report
inspection
on
in
that?
2020, where it's a lot cheaper back then, but we had it inspected by the same company, same engineering company.
Okay.
And, they don't find anything, structurally wrong. It has some deficiencies in the sense that it, doesn't have real guardrails, are the best quality. that, like you find with the
Oh,
state.
yes,
Like
that-
the
that
W's
is
or
made-
something.
yeah, you can
You know,
see that
it has
stuff
some
of concern.
piping. But the basic structure of the bridge passed their inspection. However, it's a superficial visual inspection. But to come in and x-ray it and do things like that, you're talking not $10,000, which is what this was, it's $200,000. Just
What
to
company?
inspect it,
I don't believe
and that,
What company?
What company did the inspection?
I don't have it off the top of my head.
And where would we find
But
that
we got
report?
an official.
Where would we find
Yeah,
that
you
report?
can go down to the office and request,
Yeah.
because
They would
it's in
have
their
it in
record.
the office for that
Yes.
report, and what company y'all used
Yeah.
for
Yes,
your
ma'am.
inspection?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you know of another
My husband
engineering
has been
firm,
doing this for 45
we're
years.
happy to.
Pardon me?
My husband has been doing this for 45 years, and he went down and looked at the bridge, and it is
It's pumping.
completely
It's
unsafe.
It's pumping,
It's
the
pumping.
asphalt's pumping,
I don't know what that means.
What is that?
moving.
Okay.
It's not it's structurally sound, but not surface.
How can you tell it's moving?
I wrote on it. I can see it.
Oh, okay. If you,
I do this for a living. I've been doing this for 40 years.
okay, and so I'm trying to understand.
So, well, I
Like,
think
what-
it's the
probably we
safety of
should
the
talk
people
about
that
that.
live up
We can do
there,
that.
and the
We-
big
we
trucks that go
We
across
got
the
an
bridge.
inspection by a company that said the bridge was safe. Stuff
So it was a
structurally safe.
visual inspection,
That's right, but
not,
because
not
of the,
ground penetrating radar or anything
no,
like
because
that.
of the much, huge increase in cost
No, I realize that.
to do
You're
that.
talking $100,000 or more.
Is, on that inspection form, is there a maximum weight limit for that bridge?
No. Again, we have no specs on that bridge,
All right.
so we don't know what its design specifications are. We don't know anything about life expectancy. We know nothing about that bridge at all.
Don't you
There's
think
not
we
a-
need to find that
There,
out?
there,
For the safety of all those people that live up
Well,
on that
if-
hill?
It has a
Well,
$10,000 weight limit sign on it, which is fairly low. Like that's,
Yeah, most pickups are like 6,000 or 7,000 pounds right
Yeah, and
now.
then you're talking about big old cement trucks and,
Cement truck is 39,000 to 59,000 pounds by itself if it's fully loaded.
do what?
so what happens?
59,000 pounds?
Yes.
Yeah. Hell, my little orange truck was 19,000 pounds and it was a nitty bitty
No, he
one.
I'm
said
talking
a
big trucks,
Oh,
with all that
cement truck.
lumber and rock. Anyway,
There is a way to find out what the weight limit is.
Yeah, and I would be more than happy after this
I'll talk
to look
well,
in.
yeah, cause I mean, if something happens to that bridge, how are these people gonna get out?
So I would like to answer that question if I could.
Is there another access
So-
for them?
So on her question is, you know, what happens if the bridge, something happens to that bridge? How they gonna get out? How is fire and EMS gonna get in and everything? I'm a retired firefighter, and that was the first thing I went to the fire department on the board is what happens if something happened to this bridge? So if you, I'm probably gonna say the name wrong, but if you go up the road, there's Chaco Street, Chaco. If you go on the other side of Anaconda, there's a vacant lot there. That is
That's an easement.
Indian Harbor's property, okay? On the back side of that fence is Canyon Creek property.
Okay.
And I talked with Jeff, the assistant chief, on this, and they're in negotiations right now with Canyon Creek to put a temporary gate up there and make it,
So
right now, it'd be
it's-
really for emergency situations,
Yes.
but, you know, if something happened to the bridge, it is a way to get in and out. And if we had to right now, if something happened today, you know, the fence comes down, we could probably get gravel in there to get it out. But yes, it's something that we are discussing. I discussed that with the fire department,
Okay.
and that's what, you know, that's the answer to that question. So you will have a way to get in and out.
How much more needs to be developed over there?
Pardon?
How much more is being developed in that area?
I didn't.
Because the big rigs only come when a house gets built,
Right,
you know? I mean, once it's fully developed,
fire truck or
I
whatever.
don't have an answer on how many vacant lots at Sarah Jones.
you know.
Just to add a little bit about what Rick said, this has been an issue for some time. And we have spoken to Canyon Creek off and on for several years. In the past, that piece of property that is needed, it's actually our property would connect to two other properties on the other side. One of which Canyon Creek owns and we could buy, the other is private and they don't wanna sell it. And so we've been at an impasse in the past. Maybe something's happening. I personally was up there looking at an alternative because there's another spot that's a pretty small passageway. Just as you cross the bridge and you make the first left before you go up the hill, that's a real narrow section, where our property comes in and Canyon Creek property is on the other side. So there's at least two areas up there that we could conceivably, buy and put in an emergency gate.
For emergency.
I do know,
And we looked at the same thing. If you remember, a few years ago, we had an accident at the fire station with a ATV and an SUV, and some boys were hurt. And the road was shut down for 3 hours while they were care flighting these kids and whatnot. I couldn't get home. I couldn't get out or in. And so we talked about putting an emergency gate down there in the backside. We've got two areas in here on those two ends that both have a choke point. And we've been looking at alternatives. This one over here is just a matter of money. The one up on the hill, we haven't, to date, haven't been able to purchase access.
And
And
I
we may not
believe,
have to.
when I talked to, Chief Jeff, the property that, Mike's talking about hasn't paid dues, so I think they're in the foreclosure part, is what I can get from them for that property, so. Now, will it be a paved street or something like that? I could tell you, probably at first it'd just be a gravel.
Just anything to allow them to get out.
Yeah, so yeah, we're looking at
an emergency.
Gravel and mud.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No, but there is, I just want to know,
That is the same
we have talked
issue.
about it and we've looked into it, and actually I was digging through old records and found a contract between Canyon Creek and us and the fire department, but it went back to this one person didn't wanna sell, and so, but yeah, that's, and right now, that's kind of with the fire department, cause we can't really do anything over there, it's not ours. That property on Chaco, when you cross over, that's ours, and that's what it's gonna be used
Well, I
for.
don't think Canyon Creek would probably have an issue if it was an emergency basis. I don't think anybody would have an issue with that.
Yeah, no,
Honestly.
absolutely not.
And when, I think the fire department would probably have more control over all that in an emergency situation than anybody.
But they will wanna be
paid.
And there's also a possibility, if there is a specific need, like if that is a, an issue, then there can be easements for properties, meaning we don't have to buy the property.
Fight that.
No, I'm just
through people's properties and all that.
No, you can't go on people's.
No, I'm saying
But
if-
just to do, yes, we do have a way,
Yeah.
we talked about it, and that's, but I appreciate you asking that question. Yes, ma'am.
Electrical
Is
easement,
there
they
some
can come
kind of
through.
rule in the neighborhood that we only have one trash company to work with?
Correct.
Yes.
Why is that?
It's an exclusive contract with them, so no other trash companies are allowed.
And we have to have an exclusive contract with a trash company?
Do we have to?
Yes.
I would assume that our governing documents don't say that, but we do, is what I'm
A
trying to
lot
say.
of the companies, that's what they want in their contract. Now, you don't have to use them.
You just can't use anybody else.
So I basically use them and forced to use them, or I have nobody to pick up my trash.
Correct.
Well, there are some people that are weekenders that take their trash with them when they leave. But we can only allow one in here.
So when is that contract up?
I believe it's up, 2 years
2 years,
from
I think.
October.
Cause they just keep going up.
Actually, I think they're an awesome trash company.
Now that's,
Not expensive, and the
In the-
things that they do above and beyond just pick up on great.
In the realm.
I like
of
the yard
things-
service, the trash service. they
Hang
do
on,
with the,
hang on, folks, I'm hard of hearing, and I want to hear one voice at a time, please.
Just to finish with the contract part, we do have a contract, so at this point in time, until 2.5 years from now, we do have a contract with this company, and it is exclusive, so that is for our community.
we wouldn't want a whole bunch of different trucks coming in and out on our roads. That would be crazy. I mean, they come in once. If we had other companies, they'd be coming in 2 or 3 times a week. Our roads are so expensive that wouldn't be feasible if you ask me.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
On a different subject?
Yes, ma'am.
I think we're scheduled to do repairs on the tile around the pool.
Okay,
If we could get an update on that so that, what the group is wondering, will it be done before the pool opens so we don't have closure on the pool like we did last year?
so I'll answer that question for you because this has kind of been one of my things, even from last year, is that's the next priority that we are getting bids right now on it. Multiple bids. And this filter system that's here is called Mermaid. And actually the company still exists in South Carolina. But if you go out to the pool right now, there's sand in the pool. And so I called them and they said, well, you got a leak in the filter system inside the pool. So we have to address that. So this year is, yes, get the filter fixed, fix all the broken tile, you know, any hazards that we see fit. Is it gonna be absolutely gorgeous and beautiful? No, that's the next step, you know, down the line. So we wanna make it safe and everything like that. We will have since we're an HOA and that's a pool, it's considered a commercial pool. And we just found this out, it has to have somebody that has a CPO or a certified pool office,
It's called a CPO
Right.
certificate.
a certified pool operator. And so we'll make sure that, so that way the chemicals, and we're legal with the state and everything like that. But yes, in fact, Cindy's working with a company right now, I think we're meeting next week to.
Meeting on Monday, I used to be a pool owner. I did pool repairs and built pools and cleaning and stuff like that. I had a company for about 10 years doing that. So the guy that did my remodels for me is driving from Dallas to come look on Monday. So.
And we're getting bids.
We'll
Now,
see.
to put it in aspect, if we wanted to place that filter, replace it, $15,000. 15. Now, when I talked to the lady, of course, we don't know what's involved till we get inside of it. There's a small porthole in there that you have to drain everything, get the sand out of it, and then see the filter system in there. But they think that that's that old, that it's just some PVC pipe, which they've got a replacement part, about $250. So that's what we're hoping for. But we gotta inspect it first. But yes, ma'am, I hope that answers your question, but you're gonna get that done. Yes, sir.
Are we gonna train, whoever we have servicing the pool now, can we just train him to be certified? Or do we have to-
Yeah, anybody can become a CPO. You just gotta go through their state classes and so many hours, and you go through this class and,
Right?
pardon me?
That would be cheaper.
Oh, yeah. So any one of us could be a CPO if we go through the class.
It's a very, very hard test, I can tell you that. I've been involved.
Okay. Anybody else?
I just got one thing, cause I know we're
Okay.
right up at 11 o'clock, I wanna beat a different dead horse. People with contiguous lines, this, I brought this up in the past, and I know the board said that they've actually looked into it. But has there been any discussion about moving forward to allow people with contiguous lots to replat? I know it's possible, I know it's in there, I know you guys have done the groundwork, but one of the comments that were originally made was, why do we wanna bite, why do we wanna feed the dog that bites us? Because a lot of those lots are in the areas where there's current lawsuits or appeals to lawsuits running. And my view is, it's not just for those specific sections. There are people with contiguous lots all over the harbor that would love to be able to put them into one piece.
Are there a lot of people that need to make them
It can be done.
No, I'm saying financial, on the financial side, we couldn't do everything.
No, but
So
I mean,
let me try to answer your question, I hope I do.
That's what-
Anybody
That own two lots.
can combine their lots,
No, that's for tax purposes.
okay? If you got two lots side by side, and you wanna make them one, you can go down to the county and replot them into one.
Yeah,
you just Okay. have
to have them surveyed.
Yeah, I
It
don't
doesn't
know
change
the
with Indian
process.
Harbor.
I know people have done that,
It doesn't change it with Indian Harbor, you're still considered two lots, whether you.
but no
join
matter if you
down
do
or
it
up.
into one, it's, Indian Harbor views it as still two lots. Now, a lot of people will combine their lots so they can put another structure on it, you know, to meet the ACC rules and everything like that. But as far as Indian Harbor looks on it, it's two lots.
But
If it's replatted, it's one lot.
PC 211,
Even though it's still
Indian
platted as
Harbor-
one lot, Indian
Harbor can't change that though.
No.
Why can't?
So, just to go back a little bit, I believe that we can do
Yes.
a policy change.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we can do that.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
I'm
to
sorry.
allow that, we haven't, you brought up something that we haven't thought about, at least I haven't thought about, because we thought about it more so for some of the sections that have very small lots. And when they, when all this went down, which I still haven't found that trail yet, nor do I have time right this minute, when that changed from, let's say, a section where you were supposed to have temporary, camping, it was up to 30 days, and I think you had to leave by midnight, 12:01 or something the next day or something. Somehow those got changed where it could be permanent living. And then they were required to have two lots because they needed a lot for septic and then a lot for their home that would fit on that lot. So for those people, it was almost like in our mind's eye, they didn't have an option, right? It was like if they wanted to live there permanently, they had to have two lots. For me, if I have a home and I buy it and I just want two lots so I have more space, that's my choice. Like that was me choosing in these other areas to have a bigger lot, 4 lots, 5 lots, 6 lots, whatever it is, contiguously so I can have a bigger thing. That to me is a little different. That's just me. I'm just voicing my opinion, as opposed to someone that is required to have 2 lots so that they can live permanently.
Well,
Those are the ones that we address, or we were addressing, not the others.
One of the things that I'm looking at though is when we do something in the harbor, we do it to benefit everybody, not an isolated group because they happen to buy smaller lots. And that's the reason I say it that way is like my next door neighbor. He has his house is on Alamo and he's got the lot behind him that backs up the land's end, and he would love to be able to put them together. And, you know, he's not planning on building on that lot. He doesn't have any, he just likes a big yard. And it would be nice, you know, and like I said, this is a policy that would benefit everybody. And I actually did a little bit of research on contiguous lots, not counting your big corporate owners that are out here. You might lose 200 lots off the dues paying rolls.
I think it's gonna be more than
No, because there's a lot of people that won't go through the thing.
But that's a topic we discussed previous, I mean, we had this discussion previous multiple times. It's obviously an issue that there's residents in our community are interested in. Why wouldn't we explore, and at the time, I think I said, or somebody else said, that there should be some cost benefit analysis that's done on what it would do to our income. And there's even a potential, I'm just throwing out spitballs, I mean, you could charge some kind of administration fee by the harbor for them to do it, which could recoup some of the money you're gonna lose in future, I don't know, but, I mean, I cannot, as built out as this area is, I cannot imagine that it's gonna affect more lots than what the gentleman's saying, to where we would, 200 times our 300 times however many years, yes, it's gonna be, but again, then it pleases the community members, and you got one less person that's not happy that I have to pay 2 dues on my lots that is one property, and yet they allow it in another area because it's a smaller lot. It doesn't make sense.
And potentially preventing another lawsuit.
Yeah. But you take 200 lots out, you right now, it just, my low level accounting, you take 200 paying lots out of Indian Harbor right now, might as well turn the lights on.
Well,
the balance, look at the balance.
Well, you're only taking half of that. If it's 200 lot owners, they're only taking half of that out. They're still gonna.
You know,
it
there-
would affect 200.
There is a
It'll- it's more than
compromise.
200.
Just add us, there is a compromise to this. You just basically offer a discount like some of the other HOAs do around here for the second or third or fourth connected lot. That being the key word is connected. They're either side by side or backed up in front, not kitty corner.
That's right,
None
I
of
think
that
there's
crap.
options here, you're making
Yeah.
a great
That's a
point,
smart
James, I mean,
plan.
if you get it platted out and it's one piece and then we put a policy in it, now we reduce the rate on the second lot, at least something to show that, hey, we're taking.
And you don't,
You know, let me just put, I mean, David could probably address this better, because the board looked at this a couple of years ago.
That's right, we had a committee working on
It's
it.
a very unpopular idea.
Yeah.
It might be popular with you guys
I
sitting
think
here
it was
today,
because we had so many
'cause I've been
lawsuits at that
pushing it for
time.
years.
It affected.
Cause I've said for years that I thought we should, in the 9 and 18, we should allow people to combine the two, where they're required to have minimum square footage for septic system. David didn't, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
That David led sorry, we'll get there. David led a committee
Hand
where
up,
we
so I
looked
don't
at this
forget.
issue, and it was flat. Am I correct, David? It was totally rejected? Very unpopular idea.
There was a dozen people on the committee, and we met for weeks and weeks and weeks and came up with a proposition
I
that
have
was
to
turned
remember I
down.
have something to say. It's good for me.
if you do for one though, one
We were
area,
looking
one
at a
phase,
Policy change for the.
you have to do the whole thing. The discount is basically good for whatever lot. If one place like phase one, you have a neighbor there and he has 4 connected lots, a discount would be like the first lot at full price, the second lot at 80%, then the third and fourth,
But James-
or some little
James,
discount, you know?
Like everything else in this community, we have to look at it from the perspective of what is it gonna cost us.
Yeah.
200 lots is gonna cost us approximately $80,000 if we were to do that. So that's a substantial chunk of money that affects our operating expenses.
And I
So,
do believe our governing documents say we have to do things equally on a per lot basis.
Yeah, but you can change those.
Right, we can change it as,
Yeah,
put it into the that's the minimum whole vote. point. We were looking at changing them, but
Like
the
changing the
majority, the vast
governing
majority of
document.
people out here did not want to make that change.
But
I was on that committee, and you're right, there was a big resistance, but we took that all the way up to combining the lots. We were this close to sending that out to vote. And right before we got, I don't think we actually made that vote to send it out, but that's where we were at.
How long was
We got
that?
sued the following week.
How long was that committee?
Trying to challenge, you know.
You'd
so-
have to ask.
Hang on, guys,
threw it
hang
off
on.
the table.
Yeah.
But that's, I just wondered, did they look at other options other than the fact that you combine lots and only pay one fee? Were there other options in there?
no,
Option discounting, you know, what I mean, like you said, like you discount your second lot if you plat it.
We did go over that, but we ended up on the 2 lots, you're right. There was a lot talked about, that's how it is.
Hey, guys on the board, I can't hear. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay. Marie?
No, I said what I was gonna say, which is our
Okay.
governing documents, and to change our governing documents is a very expensive process. Not saying that we shouldn't do it, I'm just saying we have to look at everything involved in,
You just changed the deed restriction.
yet it was very costly there, but just saying. It
And
wasn't
what do you
cheap.
call costly when it comes to the deed restriction? That's the main governing document. It didn't cost that much for 2,000 plus
I think
lots.
it's fair for the board
Oh,
to
it did
say,
cost us
like,
a lot of money to do the
regardless of
bailouts.
what happened years ago, the board has not only changed the majority of the people sitting up at the table, but the homeowners have changed, like, that it makes sense to bring it back up and discuss it amongst the board members and come up with potential solutions, at least to do a cost analysis of it, and maybe come up with A, B, and C, and get back to the community. And I understand, like, we have a lot of things going on, and this would basically, for me, the 2 full-time jobs now.
Amen.
Right about the homeowner
But
change.
But
A lot of people moving in, a lot of
but
people
to
moving
bring-
out.
To bring it up and at least get it in the list of the different things that we're working on right now, so it can be discussed, I mean, and that helps everybody feel heard.
And it sounds like you have people that you could pull into the conversation that have at least previous work that could at least give you as a starting position versus starting fresh.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, we'll discuss it, and we have to discuss it, I promise.
Anybody else got any questions? Yes, ma'am.
How many total lots do we have in the harbor?
I saw like
Yeah.
20,
22, 24?
2,400?
over 2,200.
2,400? About, so we're talking about 200 people that'd like to combine?
Well, keep in mind, since like Maureen said, if we do it for somebody, we have to do it for everybody.
Right, but I'm just, my
It's
my
about
thought
2,200
is,
lots and 1,700 owners. So we looked at it.
Yeah, there's a difference.
But we have a way to look and see who owns what lots that could be combined, right? I mean, so.
Oh, yeah, we have that.
well, I'm just thinking, if you think about the difference between 200 and 1,700 or 2,400 of people that's not a concern of theirs, and you're talking about $80,000 a year in revenue, then that changes that perspective of how important it is.
But you have to remember that all those 21, 2,200 people do not pay their assessments. They don't. We do not have 100% payment of assessments.
And I guess my
Not
point
even
is,
close.
there's a small group of that 1,700 owners
Actually,
that wanna do that, and the
Yeah.
impact seems
but
big.
80,000 will be a huge part of what we actually do get in a year in assessments, is what I'm trying to explain. If you take the big glory number, if everybody paid their assessments and then we took out 80,000, would be much smaller of a hit, right? But when you go to the people who actually do pay, as opposed to taking that out, it would be a huge hit. And a lot of those people that you would be affording that opportunity to don't pay their assessments, period, and haven't for years.
Don't those properties go into foreclosure?
I appreciate everybody's comment, and we will talk about this. And I think it's something to address at a certain time. I mean, we can keep talking, but I do appreciate it, and we will take notes. I've already got it written down here. It's something we can, address again.
We can't leave anyways.
Yes, ma'am.
For the people who don't pay their dues, don't they go into foreclosure?
No,
We
ma'am.
have started the collection process, about, what, three months ago, 2 months ago? I can't remember. We have started and we are going through phases of that. If you come to the board meeting, we should have the, I can tell you exactly how many are in phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is what the collection AI thing was headed towards that direction. So we have started that process, and yes, in eventuality, the end is foreclosure, taking the properties. That is the end. That's at the end of any collection company,
The goal would be for them to pay.
Oh, well, absolutely, I just said the
Just
end of it.
clarify, just
Yeah, no,
clarify.
we just want them to pay. Go on a payment plan and make the payments, things of that nature. We have sent out the certified letter of that collection process. We've already gone through that section. But legally, the end all is that you can go all the way to foreclosure. No, we don't wanna do that. Like, that's not our goal. We just want people to pay their money, make up a payment plan where they can pay on a regular basis, and that's that. But as a homeowners association, you do have, the legal means to do much more.
Okay, glad we're getting some, yes, sir.
Different question.
Okay.
Has the contract been signed with Charter Communications?
Spectrum.
Spectrum. Oh, you threw me off for a second. Yeah. Greg, I'm gonna let you answer that.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one to wrap up on, I think.
Yes, it is.
Rick and I met with them the other day. We're finalizing that contract. What we're doing right now is finalizing the number of doors for the door count. And then we will be able to put that one.
I got a question about that very contract. What are we getting? I mean, what are we getting and what are we giving up? Are we giving up any other services?
Nope, none whatsoever.
So we're keeping the fiber optics from United?
So let me give you the 30-second overview, James, okay?
Beautiful.
All right, because this way it'll be clear and factual,
We're down to 25.
okay? What are we at now?
We're at a point where you're just not gonna tell anything.
No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, okay?
What is it?
The bottom line is it's a marketing agreement. It's not a bulk service agreement, it's a marketing agreement. Every member in the harbor doesn't have to do a thing. If you have the other company, you can keep them as long as you want. You want Spectrum, you can change to Spectrum. All we're selling is for the right to Spectrum to market inside the harbor, okay? That's it, okay? They get to put a poster up in the office, they get to hand out stuff to new residents, a package of, you know, discounts and that sort of thing. And for that, we get a upfront payment, okay? And we also get revenue share on any Spectrum contract in the harbor. That's it, pure and simple.
And they are not allowed to go
Correct.
You should clarify, that's
Yep.
often head shaking. What you said marketing.
They can't come to.
And they cannot go door to door.
Correct.
They could maybe put up a tent here, you know.
Yeah, they're gonna
things
have,
like that.
they're gonna have an event, they're gonna have events and that sort of thing, you can come or don't come, it doesn't matter, but basically, it's another revenue stream for the harbor that we don't have to do anything for, and the residents are not required to do it.
And the exciting part for Indian Harbor is we pay Spectrum for our internet service in our different buildings and things like that. And that bill will be gone because we will get all of that for free. So that is a good thing. Another money making or income enhancing.
I'm waiting for that other shoe because it
Did that
sounds
answer your
good.
question, sir?
Almost.
We thought.
Almost, okay.
What is the upfront
Hang
payment?
on.
Hold on,
What is the upfront payment dollar wise?
we don't know yet.
We're negotiating that right now.
Okay.
It'll be in the $350,000 to $400,000 range somewhere.
Well, that's what was in the budget, so that's what I was asking.
Yep, that's what it's
Okay.
gonna be.
And once we get the final number, we'll amend the budget to reflect what it actually is.
Okay.
Yep, it's
Thank you
gonna
though
be
for
close to that.
asking that. I know you keep an eye on it, and I appreciate that.
And just for the record too, this contract has been sent out for legal review.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds
So
like
y'all know, it just started, so it's pretty bad for about another hour.
An hour, we're gonna sit here for an hour?
Oh,
no.
Sell tickets.
I'm gonna roll up my jeans, take off my.
You're right, Selma.
Okay, guys, it's 11:30, if you wanna sit here and talk, you're more than welcome. But thank you for showing up on this Valentine's Day. Thank you.
and we are done.
I can see it coming down.